Come in.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah. Hi.
Hey, Gary from Blue Raven Solar. How are you?
Doing well. Very nice to meet you.
Good. Beautiful home you have here. How long
Thank
have
you.
lived
Appreciate it. About 18 years now.
here? 18 years. Okay. Are you retired?
Not yet. Hopefully, maybe within the next 5-6 years we're looking at. So,
Where do you work?
I'm a professor.
Professor at St. Cloud State?
No, actually, I commute to the U of M from here.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic. So, is this the first time you've ever looked at solar?
You know, I've heard things here and there, but I've never looked into it fully as far as putting a system into my own house. So,
Okay, great. Okay. So, Brian, this is what I always like to do is first I'll answer any questions you folks have right off the bat. Then I'll give you an overview of how solar works, how it works with Xcel Energy, anything with Blue Raven. Then we'll get into the numbers. Sound good?
yeah, sounds great.
Okay. So, what questions do you have?
You know, you might cover this as we go through, but what kind of life would I be looking at on a system like this? How long is it going to last me?
Yeah, great question. So the warranty on year 25, it's warranted to still be producing at a level of around 90% or higher. And so that's 25 years from now that it's still going to be producing at that level.
Okay.
So ultimately, these panels are going to last 40 to 70 years on your roof,
Awesome.
producing energy.
And at the end of the life, are they recyclable? How do we go about disposing of them?
Yeah, great question. So, I mean, we're looking at, most of these panels are still going strong right now. So I would say in, 30, 40 years when a lot of these panels do start going down and there will be a need at that point to start recycling them. I think I heard a percentage, it's somewhere around 90-95% is recyclable possibility of being recycled. So at that
Okay,
point, I'm sure
awesome.
there's going to be a big industry. Maybe you and I go into business and that will make millions at that point.
Well, you've got my number now.
Sounds good. So when you go solar, I mean, think about paying that electric bill. Think about Xcel Energy. It's kind of like being like your landlord.
Sure.
Like there's no return on investment in paying Xcel. You could be in the home for the next 2 years or the next 20 years and have nothing to show for it. When you go solar, what's going to end up happening is it's zero money out of pocket. That payment won't go up, right? The first 18 months, in fact, we're actually going to be sending you a check to cover the cost of your solar payment. During that time, you're going to get a tax credit. Typically, my customers get about $5,000 to $7,000 back with that tax credit. Now, that's your money. You can do with that what you want. You can invest it. You can keep it as a rainy day fund. It's your money. Just don't do something stupid like go to Vegas with it, right?
Gotcha.
And then that bill isn't going to go up. Whereas Xcel Energy, over the next 5 years, they actually expect the rates to double over the next 5 years. And the reason being is, energy is supply and demand. People are using more electricity because of EV cars. COVID, people start staying at home. They like staying at home. They like working from home. Well, it's just pushing up, the amount of electricity people are using, and that's driving the cost. So 5 years, if you're paying, say, $200 a month now, it's going to easily be $400 a month. Make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So let's look at your house. So there's your house, right?
That's not my house.
Yeah. It's kind of nice though, isn't it?
It sure
Your
is.
house is actually, I like your house a lot better
appreciate
than this one. Yeah. So we use black and black panels. Gives it a nice, sleek design. Any kind of electrical conduit is actually going to go into the attic space, so you don't see that. So we really pride ourselves on nice, clean designs.
Awesome.
Let me scroll here. Another picture. So you use what's called microinverters. So it's a lot more efficient on your house. Each panel is going to have their own separate microinverter. You're going to have an app where you can monitor your system. It's going to show you in real time what your panels are doing, show you over the week, over the month, over the year.
Okay, awesome.
And there's your house.
There it is.
Yep. There's your panels.
Is that my house?
That
That
is
is
your
my
house,
house.
yeah.
Weird seeing it from above.
Yeah, and all those black things. Those are the
Exactly.
solar panels.
Awesome. Quite a few of them.
Yeah. So you must. I don't see a swimming pool back there, but you must be using a lot of electricity. AC. Do you use any electric heat during the wintertime? You've got to have some electric heat going.
It's definitely some electric heat. I have 3 indoor hot tubs. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, there's definitely an excess of electricity that I'm using for
Well, we
variety of
we
things.
can look at that too. Do you have any space heaters that you're using? If you are using space heaters, just get rid of them.
I've been telling my wife to quit using it, but
Okay.
yeah, we do use the space heaters probably too much.
So that's probably reflecting on how your electric bills are very high. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I bet you're spending at least $500 a month on average, maybe closer to $600 or $700.
Depends on the month, but
Yeah,
yes,
that's gonna
around
double.
there.
Yeah, expect to see that doubling in the next 5 years. Then you're looking closer to a mortgage, payment. So here's what's going to end up happening. So this is going to offset your electric by 100%.
Awesome. That will help.
Yep. So here's what's going to end up happening. So the first 18 months, it's going to be free. Pretty good.
Free.
We're going to be sending you a check each month for the first 18 months. So you're not going to have to worry about that electric bill, and you're not going to have to worry about your solar loan for the first 18 months. Then month 19, it's going to be $648 a month, and then it just stays there
Awesome.
Yep.
Same throughout the life of the loan.
throughout the life of the loan. 25-year loan, 3.5% interest rate.
Perfect.
So really low. Now, that's if you're going to get a big tax credit. So the tax credit comes straight to you. Let me look here what your tax credit is. So your tax credit is $53,651.
Wow.
That'll come to you next year. That's your money. If you can't use that $53,651 in 1 year, you can roll that over to the following years. So like the next year, up to 5 years.
Okay. Yeah.
But that's your money. Most of my customers, when they get that tax credit, they just keep it. And the reason being is the interest rate's only 3.5%. So you have an extra $53,000 in your pocket at 3.5%. Ding, ding, ding.
Right. Yeah.
If you do keep the tax credit, note that a month 19, your payments can be $925 a month.
Okay. Fair
Okay?
enough.
If you put it back towards the loan, it's going to stay at $648.
Got it.
Okay. So here's your total loan amount is $178,000, and then you get the tax credit of $53,000, and so your net cost ends up being $125,187.
Got it. Makes sense.
Yep. If you kind of, if you look at it, in the long term, you'd be at least spending, this is a really conservative estimate of what you'd be spending if you stayed with your utility company, at least $237,000. I bet you it's closer to $500,000 you'd be spending in the next 25, 30 years.
Hard to argue with those numbers.
Yeah. So here, it's just that $648 a month.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yep.
That makes sense.
So here's what we're going to do next. Okay, so all we're going to do today is get you pre-approved for the loan. It's just a 650 or above credit score. Doesn't even go in your credit score. That allows our guy to come out and do a roof inspection. So they're going to take a look at the roof. They're going to take a look at the electrical panel just to make sure there's no surprises.
Got it.
They'll then send that to our design department. They'll send you the final design. That usually happens if there are no changes, usually a couple days after the site survey. You still have 3 days after that to make your final decision. If you decide for whatever reason not to move forward, you just email us back within that 3-day time frame, and we'll cancel. No obligation, no penalty.
Okay.
Otherwise, you give us a thumbs up, and we get started with permitting. So permitting takes typically around 4 to 6 weeks. Actual installation for your system, because it's a larger system, it might take 2 or 3 days. If it was a smaller system, usually a day. but 2 to 3 days. Then after that, they come back and they that's the city. They come back and inspect it. They turn on the net meter, and then you're energized. How does that sound?
Sounds great, actually.
Awesome. Okay, so get you pre-approved.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
Let's do it.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Cool. Cut.